from international organizations such as the World Bank, Union for African Pollution Studies, International Sociology Institute Brasilia, Italy, University of Bergen, Norway, Witwatersrand University, Johannesburg, South Africa, and Partnership for African Social and Governance Research, Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much. Now, his diverse field of experiences have enabled him to attend membership of and consult widely for various organizations such as World Bank, Council for the Development of Economic and Social Research in Africa, Human Science Research Council, South African Center for Black Arts and African Civilization, Economic Policy Unit, only one person, Chartered Institute of Personnel Managers, Nigeria, where he once attained the status of a chief examiner. Other professional bodies of repute include the Chartered Institute of Human Resources and Strategic Management, where he currently occupies the position of National Vice President, Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance, as well as several NGOs. Now, I'd like you to know that this person's research interest covers criminology, gender studies, organization behavior, political economy, intergroup relations, as well as general development studies, and he's married with children. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver this cornerstone talk to us this morning in about 20 minutes, I would like to invite the Honorable Dr. Augustine Okechukwu Agugu. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You can do better. It's not yet. Keep applauding. Keep applauding greatness. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, really. You're welcome. At a point, I lost sight of the fact that I was the person being introduced. Am I communicating? Yeah. Good evening. I'm in the midst of what I may regard as friends and associates. Some of you might not have known some of these aspects, but we don't really have a choice. We just have to engage you internally and represent you externally. Am I communicating? Yeah, just to make sure that we don't just thought ourselves. We also need to thought ourselves from point of view of what happens outside. That's why as we engage ourselves here, once in a while, we also traverse the outer space, because it has to do with regional boundaries. So when we are talking about Gorizia, Italy, Belgium, Norway, Witwatersrand, South Africa, Nairobi, and so on and so forth, it's part of the global experience. Does that make sense? So in the next 20 minutes, maximum, I have this task of addressing the issue of change. The theme is pioneering change, navigating the new frontier of possibilities. I would like to know, is our projector working? If it's not, well, being prepared at all times is an aspect of change. Does that make sense? It's discourse, and I'm happy. At the point, it was like the founders of this project needed to import the audience from outside. We argued to and fro because I felt that is something my students, not just students, but my very good associates and friends should benefit from. So I'm happy that majority of you here today are those my students. They say there is one thing constant about nature, and that is what? Change. And it's not just secular. It is also something that has what you might regard as what? A divine origin. Somewhere when we look at the issue of society, and we look at it from point of view of not just of autonomous existence of individuals, no matter what they represent, But from point of view of association, my students, when you listen to me, if we start pontificating and philosophizing, that does not mean that we are relegating the divine beings. But our understanding is to do what? Bring the concept of divine beings to a set of secular understanding. So when we discuss society from point of view of sociology, I always make this point that perhaps God was the first sociologist. Am I communicating? Yes. Some of my friends in economists, when they meet us, they say sociologists do it in groups. At a point, I told him he was not casting a pun, he was making a point. Because God himself started a sociologist. Does that make sense? He started as a sociologist. Why? How many people do you need for God to appear? What's the quorum for God's appearance? So it doesn't have to do with the church or the mosque. How many people do you need for God to appear at a point in time? See? Behold, when 2 or 3 are gathered together, behold, I'm what? I'm in their midst. Am I communicating? Did he say one person? I'm not putting our religious experts to task. But when the man or God looked at a man at a point, what did he say? It's not good for the man to be what? Alone. So God abhors what? Loneliness. So at that point, he said that God was what? Was and still remains what? The first sociologist. And in him is encapsulated this concept of change. So it doesn't have to do with taking it or boxing it into the realm of what sociology purveys or projects. He said that let's make man in our own image is an eschatological truth. What's the image God created us in? Not from point of view of your physical appearance. I was in a certain year, that setting was in Italy. When I told them that it will shock them if we now want to go into the peregrinations of God's physiological anatomy, if you discover that this girl we always address as a he, it's a she. That's a discussion for another day. Am I communicating? It was a big issue. And like I said, one or two things I said that day, and me 2 hours the following day. But I go, tomorrow is a session that has 2 hours. We want you to come back and use those 2 hours and prove that your point. I think one of them was when I made the observation that it has to do with women. See, man is full of potential. But in the woman lies the kinetic energy of what it takes to initiate change in man. I said that was the reason why the woman, Eve, was created. But for example, when we say, if not for who? Eve. The suffering we are suffering in the world wouldn't have been happening. Who told you? If not for Eve, the creativity and innovativeness the world is experiencing today wouldn't have done what? Come about. Am I communicating? Yeah, because before the emergence of Eve, that was the that ended 2 hours. For them it was punishment. But come and prove that point. The following day, as God created everything and rested. Up to the point he created people like my brother, Kayode. Kayode is a very stubborn human being in every setting. So even when he created the man Eve, Adam, what happened? God. That's creativity. That's innovativeness. Eve did not do anything wrong because the command of God is what? Go ye into the world and do what? Multiply. Multiply is not being idle. He was coming. He was visiting Adam. He was relaxing. He was enjoying his company. But after one of those visits, when he went back, he said, it's not good for the man to be what? Alone. Why? The instruction of the word, build and destroy. This man is not doing it. That's encapsulated in the concept of change. That's why it has to do with creativity and innovation. You look at the pioneering work of the European Enlightenment period and their progenitors. At a point, life was so smooth, sweet, and what? Fine. The Prosaic era. Here, there was no cause for what? Alarm. Just like the days of Adam. And everything came from God, including your being beautiful, because God created you on a very fine Monday morning. Including your being intelligent. Some of you cling to it. You won't attend classes. Towards the exam period, you go to a GO that will lay his hands on his head, on your head. That was the earlier phase of a prosaic state of human existence, where everything works on the dictates of God. Those are the things Adam was keeping in shape. That was the state of Europe at a point when to question anything that will initiate change. People would say, if you do that and it affects the way God allowed things to be, they will burn you at the stakes. At the point some people felt, let me be burnt at the stake, but let me say something that will do what? Change the world. That was the history of people like Isaac Newton. And the actions of people like Isaac Newton, as you link it to the Enlightenment and the Renaissance period, made it imperative for the papacy of that time to review their attitude towards what? Burning people at the stakes. Say, yes, these people are challenging the authority of the church or religion, but they are doing things that we can see. And that's put in motion the change in Europe that is affecting the world today. I make this observation somewhere along the line. I think it was Alexander Pope, a poet of that time, who, after reviewing the pace and progress of change that now sweats the landscape of Europe, wrote a piece in honor of Isaac Newton, saying, nature and nature's world lay hid in darkness, and God said, let Newton be, and all was light. Am I complicating? Do you understand where he was coming from? He was coming from both the Bible and the Quran. Because you see, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Spirit of God did what? Moved upon the deep. And God said, let there be what? Light. What is light? Light is what? Knowledge. Knowledge that inspires what? Change. Just like the potentials of Adam was there, and he needed an Eve. Your colleagues, your mates, every day you take me, there's a house to entertain me. What is wrong with your hands? I won't go to Dr. Kayade's house again. If that will end this marriage, let it do what? End. That is the role of the woman. After that insult from your wife, next time, instead of taking her to Dr. Kayade's house, what will you do? You start thinking of building your own house. That's the role of the woman. That is how somebody ends up being an agent of what? Change. Sorry, the projectors, and your projector is not working, because I'm thinking I've seen two, but they are not showing what they are supposed to. So, that lays the foundation of our today's discourse, as it will also affect other discourses. It's to that extent you will understand that if in the social science establish the fact why it is regarded as a discipline that was built on the precepts of change. It was change that inspired scientists of that period, economists, as you have it in the work of people like Karl Marx, administrators, as you have it in the person of someone like Weber, including engineers, as you will see it in the work of the man called Roberto Michels. Everything about human existence has been established, both in the natural sciences and to an extent in the principles of economy and all whatnot. But they felt, just like Voltaire stated, the universe and everything associated with it from point of view of natural sciences is one aspect of the assignment. What is the greatest assignment? He said that the greatest assignment is what? The knowledge of man by himself. Know then thyself, O man, that was Voltaire. For at the end of the day, the real study of man is by man himself. Am I communicating? To understand yourself and prepare yourself on the path of change, development, and growth is not something that will come from heaven. It's something that has to do what come from you. That's the capacity to appreciate and understand your environment by taking thoughts and acting through the instrumentalities of time. It is therefore established that you should be able to do what? Initiate change that will lead you to growth and development. And I'm happy. That is the focus and fulcrum of today's word. Discuss. It's to this extent you link it to the concept of work. And we are talking about change, innovativeness, and work creativity. It's about how do you establish a state of what's called ameliorative conditions for human functioning. Work as a central human activity undergone series of changes. It started somewhere when man's state and attitude towards work was in league with what God does. That time, man works for accomplishments that gives him a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Working from what was internally driven values, not something that is externally directed. But they go hand in hand. It's about this thing you now say from eschatology. We are made to understand that man does not live by bread alone. I hope it's not heresy. Man does not live by bread alone. Am I correct? What is the larger or latent implication of that statement? The latent implication is that he cannot do without it. Am I communicating? You cannot live by bread alone, it's true. But the other side to it is that you can't do without it. Even from point of view of the Bible, at a point in preaching the gospel, they say what happened? Jesus had compassion on the people. Say my heart goes out to these people. And his disciples were asking, just like our overzealous pastors of today, we tell you to fast for 40 days. End of the fasting, Pastor, I'm hungry. No problem. God will do what? Provide. Am I communicating? It's a total departure from what you may regard as the social ministry of people who started those aspects of what eschatological inclinations. So I have compassion. In other words, besides hearing the word, you must also do what? Feed your stomach. From that angle, you understand what you call what is centrality of work in every human activity. It is there. And if you now link it to the concept of money, you now understand why, even in philosophy, they will tell you that money answered what? All things. Does that make sense? It's part of the problem between the Protestants of those even swearing the word poverty. In sociology, from what you will learn in the Protestant ethics, as you have it in the work of the man, God must better. It showed that if your father is a rich man, you don't have any business with poverty. Am I communicating? If God is the owner of all resources on earth, and you say that you are his son, you are his daughter, what is your business with poverty? It was captured in Weber's Protestant what? Ethics. And in that concept, he established the rudiments upon which human beings creatively acting on the sense of what's called innovativeness are not just going to transform the world, they are going to rule the world. Those are the kind of people I look at as what? Prophets. In one of my classes, I said that when you talk about prophets, I recognize some sociologists as prophets more than some of the prophets you banned. When he wrote that work over 200 years ago, he said that the people that are embracing those principles of what? Creativity and innovation, as it has to do with attitude to work, it's a question of time. Those people are going to rule the world. The Western world of today, the Germans, the Britons, those are the people that embrace the Protestant ethics. And it's to that extent, we now appreciate the fact that work over the time has undergone a lot of what? Changes. And some of those changes, as we see it, governing on principles of change are things you can't run away from. They are there. They started on a very conservative note, but over time, such a central stage that on a global scale, the challenge of creativity and innovation is either you are creative, you innovate, you change, or you would what? You die. It's on that note, what I have here, we conclude on the concept of globalization as change occurring on a global scale. And what does globalization mean? I'll take it from the viewpoint of one Emmanuel Waters. He defines social change from point of view of globalization as a process in which the constraints of geography on social, cultural, economic, political, and every aspect of human endeavor, that the constraints of geography are seen to be what? Dwindling. And everyone watching those trends are also doing what? Taking notes. And they are acting accordingly. It's to that extent, from point of view of creativity and innovation, he actually observed that even in the concept of work, even in the arena of employment, globalization as a trend is rewarding those who are doing what? Developing skills and penalizing those not that. At the level of Emmanuel Wallerstein's systems theory, that is what distinguishes what you call what? The core nations, the periphery nations, and what you call what? The semi-periphery nations. It's at the level of changing the mass of the workspace. Even in the humanities, they will explain it as it has to do with the attitude to work. And for them, there are three types of people. The ones who make things happen, the ones who watch things happen, and the ones who wonder what actually is happening. As we look and watch and listen to what is happening today, I encourage all of us, from point of view of creativity and innovation, to leave the realm of those who are wondering what is happening, to leave the realm of those who are watching what is happening, and center yourself in the realm of those who make things happen. And as you do this, I wish all of us a very wonderful happy. Thank you so much. I love and good prayer.
I hope we gained something from this very wonderful and impactful session. It's only one person that gained something. I hope we gained something from this wonderful and impactful session. Thank you. Please, you can applaud our speaker once more. Awesome. So tell somebody, be the change that the world will see. Are we sleeping? This is just past 11 in the morning. You did not sleep at night. Be the change that the world will see. Okay, so we're going to be doing doing something very interesting now before we move on to the next speaking session that we're going to be having. So we're going to do, someone should help me, suggest something to me. Should we do Lagos business and then you respond and policy summit? Does that make sense? Does it sound interesting? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. I think that works. So if I say Lagos business, does that sound interesting? Okay. All right. So let's do something. So I'll say LBPS and you shout 2023. That works, right? Okay. Yeah. So LBPS. 2023. Thank you so much. A round of applause for yourselves. The people here, they don't love themselves. That's why they didn't clap. Yeah. All right, on to the next one. We'll be having a talk on unleashing creativity as a tool to... Hello, all right. Unleashing creativity as a tool to pioneer change. And I can see that there are a lot of young persons in the house, and also that can translate to us having a lot of creatives here as well. And I want you to know that the speaker that will be speaking on that topic, in fact, when you look at him, you know that yes, this man is a creative. Okay? Just a minute, please. So if we can have Hamid here, please. Or any other person on the team that work. Hamid. Or any other person that's on the team, please. Okay, so I've just been rightly informed that there's a lot to this personality, and if we start reading all the things about him, we might not live here today. Okay, so I'll go right into it. I would like you to help me make welcome to the stage for this next impactful session. Yes. Junkman from Africa! I told you that he looks like a creative. So, can you attest to the fact that he's really looking like a creative? So, he will be taking us through creativity, unleashing creativity as a tool to pioneer change. Thank you.
I just took my time to enjoy these beautiful people. And I want to tell you that, sincerely, I'm happy to be here. Be the change that you want to see. Change, unleash, unlock. These are the words I am seeing in the program. I want to first of all let you know that all the words they have been invented by somebody for specific purpose. So if you're wearing a trouser, yourself why you have never asked a question. Why is this called a trouser and not a pot or a bucket of water? So today, most of the words I am going to use, I am very aware of them. I did not invent them. And most of the time, that is how we arrived. I made a 2-hour talk until Leonard told me it's 20 minutes. And why I made a 2-hour talk is that this is what I love doing. I love making sure that when you squeeze me, what I am will come up. I lived for 23 years abroad, teaching in different universities, exhibiting in the most important museums in the world. I started teaching at the University of Benin in 1989. I wonder how many people were here. So teaching is something that you can do when you seek to understand. Because you cannot explain anything to somebody until you understand it. Now I want to go through a summary of what I have drafted for today. Before I do that, I really want to commend Leonard and the organizers of this occasion, program. While some of us are looking to sell cement or sell land, some people are busy trying to organize programs where we come together and exchange some kind of knowledge and intellectual properties and learn and advance ourselves. It is very abundant in this environment, but it is very scarce when it is to be done well. So please help me clap for these people for doing this. You're not clapping as if you like what they did. Thank you, that's better. And I want to make a promise. Anywhere this program is going, if you call me, I'll come out. You don't need to pay me. So I am known as the junk man from Africa because I was a pioneer in using junk to make art. I studied the conventional art, all the sculptures and all those things, but I decided to go into anthropology and philosophy. And in anthropology, they will tell you that what the people have used can tell a story about their life. Traces of their economic status, their behaviors, their attitude. And then philosophy will talk about the truth, whatever that means. Truth is what it is. And then I'm a professor of art. So when I get the object, I speak some philosophy over them, and I use art to package it as a mirror for the people. And it's a conservative anthropological development. Now you see recycling, upcycling, downcycling, somersaulting. When I started, I was called a madman. And later on, a junk man. I say, yes, that's the better name. So when you hear the junk man from Africa, nobody else wants to answer that name. It's mine. Unleashing creativity to pioneer change. Unleashing means that there's something leashed already, isn't it? Which means something is there. The first law of the universe, natural law, is the law of being, which means something was there already. Unleashing means to set free, isn't it? To let go, to open up, to allow to go into some dynamics. That's what unleashed means. Which means that we all have creative potential. If you go to a woman who fries akara, and another one fries akara there, you see some people most of the time queue up so much, waiting for one to get done. The other one will be beating the flies away. Have you ever seen that? Yes. Why? They are frying akara. You can buy here or buy here. Have you ever asked yourself why? You see some people sit down and people circle around them immediately. You see others sit and somebody wants to sit and steps away. Have you ever asked yourself why? We are spirits. We live in the body and we have a mind. And in a theater, one of the proponents in a theater, actors in a theater said that the mind is the only difference between man and the beast. So you have been given a mind. I won't go too far into it because it will be very scientific. But you have a conscious mind, which is the consciousness of what happens. You are aware. You have a subconscious mind, which is what is running the show under. Like you're sitting down here now, you are not beating your heart. Your heart is beating. If you have eaten, the digestive processes are going on. Then somebody comes behind you and you turn. Why do you turn? It's not physical. So when we look to unleash creativity, it points to the fact that we have been led away from who we are. Led away by conditioning. I will prove to you what science has talked about conditioning. The word paradigm is a word that is very scarce. It's used by psychologists and psychiatrists. But it's conditioning. When a child is in the womb already, or is born as an infant, he or she is just open. Whatever the environment is doing or saying or machinating, it just imbibing them. The child cannot talk, the child cannot do anything, but just soak everything like a sponge. Then, between the year of 1 and year of 4, you say, he can hear me. He can say his name. But know that when you ask a small child of 2 years old, what is your name? It points at you. What brings food on the table? It points at the fridge. Now, up to the year 7, there's a seal. And what has happened? All the programming from parents, from teachers, from church, from the streets, all the experiences have accumulated at the mind, the conscious mind. He has formed habits by looking at different people, doing what they are doing, saying what they are saying. He has formed reactions. He has formed beliefs. Belief is a thought you keep thinking every time. So repetition, habituation, and hypnosis are these 3 elements that build who we are all looking at here. It is very rarely that a child or an adult changes from the way he or she is moving, except there is awareness. When you are aware, you become curious. First of all, we get beaten on the head, and we beat our children on the head so much, you cannot kick a dead dog. So if a child asks questions, you say, shut up. The child wants to express itself by crying or by taking action, you say, shut up. So he shuts up. There's a reptile brain that is over 4,000 years that has never changed in man. And that's the brain that takes care of fear, takes care of response, flight, freeze, or fight. So, the mind being a very interesting phenomena, it means that the things you are conscious of are like 5% of what is ever happening. So 95% of the time we're working on what is called autopilot, reactions. And the mind is running like a crazy mind. 5 minutes, I'll tell you about a professor who went to see a monk in a mountain somewhere in the east, India. He came up, he was seeking, he wanted knowledge, and the monk went inside and brought 2 cups of tea and gave him an empty cup, filled his own, and continued filling the professor's cup. It was overflowing, it was burning his hand, it was burning his leg, it was all over the place. The monk kept pouring. He dropped the cup and said, I thought you were going to give me a tea. He said, your mind is already full, like this cup. There's nothing I can add on top of it unless you empty it. And then Bruce Lee, the one we know. Some students came to Bruce Lee and said, teach us your martial expertise. The arts, martial arts. What teach us? He brought a cup of Coke and a cup of water. And said, this water cup, it's me. You are the Coke. I cannot add anything to this Coke until you get rid of it, or unless you get rid of it. So I can't give you what I have, except you get rid of what you have. With that, I lead you to the first section, 7 levels of awareness. The first level is the animalistic level, the simple consciousness, they call it. We're just living life, anyhow. Whatever the day brings. And then we react, and we fight, and we freeze, and we fly. Take to your head. The next level of awareness is what comes out of one of the 6 fears that besiege man. Man has only 2 natural fears. The fear of height and the fear of sound. That's why you see children scream. And when you want them to jump into the swimming pool, they scream. Every other fear is learned. Learned from who? From the environment. And it is said that the environment is stronger than genetics. Because they say, if you tell me who your 5 friends are, I will tell you who you are, because you are an average of your immediate 5 friends. So it's good now that you start thinking, who are my friends? Are they the ones where we cry together? Or the ones who borrow me money and I borrow them? Or the ones who tell me poverty is, it's not my fault, I'm trying. I am here to tell you that the third one is aspiration. You cannot escape a prison unless you know you are in one. So when you get either by some kind of emotional impact or some kind of experience, you say, I don't think man created in the image of and the likeness of God is supposed, like my colleague, the professor, was talking, is supposed to suffer. You are not placed on this environment to suffer. On this earth, whether it's Africa or Europe, what does God say? Have dominion over the earth. Dominion is to dominate. It's not to demand. It's not to do wuru-wuru. It's not money. It is about being before doing, before having, which I will talk about later. So when we are tired of the masses, the peer groups, the friends, if I do something different, they will reject me. If I don't believe, they will take me away. When we're tired of that, we start aspiring for a change. And the change we aspire for, I know what that means. So I'll round up. It's just awareness. You start by asking yourself, who am I? What am I placed here to do? What are the potentials I have? What can I do that will make me feel alive? Say, here I am. Nobody will say, there you are. No matter how many degrees you have. No matter how beautiful you are. So it is a self-examination process. Before you can pioneer a change. The meaning of pioneer means that you face the wall and you have spears at your back. So either you break the wall or you get perished. That's the meaning of pioneer. So you are leading a dead end. But at the end of the tunnel, there is always light. Now you come to the individual. When you aspire to be a different person, and you start studying yourself, and you start knowing what the mind is, and you start knowing what personalities you carry, start knowing what habits you have gotten from people that are not serving you, and you go on a long journey, it's a life journey actually, to start changing these habits one by one, these beliefs one by one, then you come to a point where you are in solitude. You are alone. But at the end of solitude is always solidarity, because you get to the other side of the tunnel. That is individual. Then the next one is that you start accumulating experiences. Different experiences that will make you decide what life means to you. It's we who give meaning to life. Life is. There is no right or wrong. Nobody has ever come into the world with a life manual. This is how life is going to be lived. We learn from others. And we forget that they have limitations and they have fear, which they mix with love, pretending that they know, but nobody knows. You have to find it yourself what life means. Then you get into mastery. When you get into mastery, light comes up. Now to summarize it, because we can continue this after, first thing you need is order. First rule in heaven, order. If you check your purses now, see how many 5 nairas are scattered all over the place. You get to your house, do you make up your bed in the morning? Harmony leads to a flow because you collect the energy that's already there. Then you start making goals. If you do not see it, I would say possibility, you cannot see as an opportunity. It's not possible. You have to see it. There are many ways to go to that. I will not be able to do that today, but there's what they call visualization. You have to be honest with yourself, not sincere, because you can be sincerely wrong. Be honest, not sincere with yourself, with the people you're dealing with your environment. Be a student, not a follower, and be hungry for knowledge. I think the manager is waiting now. So the 6 faculties of the mind I will give you, and you go and research on it. 1 is the will, not willpower. 2 is imagination. It is a gift. These are all faculties of the inside for you to develop yourself to come out. The 3rd one is intuition. Then you have memory, which we always suffer. You suffer the past, and you suffer imagination, which is the front. It's not necessary. And then you have perception. Everything you are seeing, you are looking at me now. I am not up here, I'm inside you. And many people see me differently as you are all looking at me. The same thing happens. Perception. And then the last, you have the brain. The brain is an organ, it's an electronic organ, it's not your mind. But if we have the opportunity to talk more, I could take you through this. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. So actually, I was wondering that where would somebody give himself that kind of name, Junkman? And so we stumbled on his Instagram page, and then we saw how he's making sense out of nonsense. Well done, sir. We celebrate you. Thank you for bringing out creativity from a different dimension. Okay, so I got a better call and response. So this is how we're going to do it. So we'll say LBPS 2023. I'll say LBPS 2023, and then you respond pioneering change. I think that's better. Okay, let's do this. LBPS 2023. Thank you so much. At this point, we want to do something really quick, and we have hashtags on social media that we want everybody to engage with now. Let's let the world know that something is happening here at UNILAG, the Social Sciences Theatre to be precise. Our hashtags are hashtag LBP Summit 2023. You can write that down. So everybody, if you have a smartphone, let me see your phone. Please don't be shy. Please. If you have a smartphone, all right, so we're going to do something real quick. Have you taken note of the hashtag? Hashtag LBP Summit 2023. Hashtag Face of Liberty HQ. Hashtag Pioneering Change. Hashtag Opportunity Knocks. I'll take that again. Hashtag LBP. Please take note of that, because we're going to be looking at your engagement on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Okay, Twitter is no longer Twitter. What do they call it now? X. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll say that again. Hashtag LBP Summit 2023. Hashtag Face of Liberty HQ. Hashtag Pioneering Change. Hashtag Opportunity Knocks. So we're going to do this. Everybody bring out your smartphone. Are we ready? I'm not seeing your phone, so you don't want to leave me alone in this. No, we are together. Okay, now. Yes, your smartphone's here. Okay, are we good? So you bring out your smartphone, you make a video. I'll say LBPS 2023, and then you say Pioneering Change. Does that work? And you use all the hashtags I just listed, okay? So let me tell you why this is important. You don't know who's going to see your video, and they'll tag you that you're a very serious person. How people that be thinking that you're not serious with your life, when they see this video, they will know that what you are attending serious conferences, so you are making sense out of your life. So it's very important. Oh yeah, let's go. say the hashtag in hashtag LPP Summit 2023, hashtag Face of Liberty HQ, hashtag Pioneering Change, hashtag Opportunity Log. So I would like you to know that this organization is on social media as well. It's important that you follow us on social media at Face of Liberty HQ, that's all. And they have rightly informed me that they have gift for 2 amazing people. So let's see the first person that follows them on social media at Face of Liberty HQ. Oh, so we want to see all your engagement and let's tell the world what is happening here. Yes, you are hearing my voice too much. The next voice you are going to be hearing is the voice of someone that is a multifaceted professional with a passion for solving startup problems and driving innovation. I would like you to know that she is the CEO of Spore Nation Group. You can applaud her now, it's easy. So be a CEO. And she's the founder of Nerd Chest. There's a lot to this lady, please, and I'm sure when she comes up on stage, she will let you know more about her. She'll be moderating the panel real quick, and the topic will be fostering entrepreneurship and startup ecosystems. You see the kind of conversations we're having here today, very intentional and intelligent conversations. So please listen and engage. I would like to bring up on stage Lois Adeniji as she pioneers this part of today's event. Is that how much you celebrate greatness? You can do better. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. It's so nice to be here. I would like to appreciate the organizers for this privilege. I'm always super excited when the conversation is about startups because we are the future of the economy, right? So the conversation is going to be super interesting. I would have 3 people join me up on the panel session. But first, how many of us are founders? You're running a business. People don't like to use the founder term because it's Shege Pro Max, yeah? But how many of us are running a business? We're looking forward to starting up our own. I mean, fantastic. So this conversation is one you don't want to miss out on. And the 3 amazing people who are joining me up here, I checked, I'm sort of a stalker. So I checked their LinkedIn page, and I can assure you that these people have a whole lot that we are going to learn from them today. So let me get straight into their bio. I think it's also very important that I list their bio so that we understand that they are not just anyhow persons, and they are going to do justice to the topic that we're discussing today, which is fostering. Is it fostering or fostering? English is hard. Fostering entrepreneurship and startup ecosystems. The first guest that will be joining me up here, a super fantastic person. I mean, this person's bio is typically the longest. And that's the person of Adebisoye Adeshola. Before he comes up, and before we clap, Adebisoye Adeshola is also known as Mr. Diligent and is a please pardon me, English is my second language. He's a distinguished figure in the entrepreneurial landscape, particularly within Nigeria and beyond. His life story is a testament to his unwavering dedication to various entrepreneurial pursuits and his resolute commitment to empowering youth while campaigning against cybercrime. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Adebisoye Adeshola as he comes up. All right, so our second guest up is Mr. Tosin Sonny. Oluwatosin is a project management professional and youth development advocate with over 5 years experience in tech, communication, sustainability, and social development sector. He has earned a bachelor's degree in industrial technology education from the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Nigeria. And over the past 5 years, Mr. Oluwatosin has managed several corporate social responsibility projects for various organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Tosin Sonny. All right, so moving quickly to our third guest, that is Mr. Olabode Olusegun. He is an exceptional sales influencer, nice. Business leader, business coach, and mentor with over 15 years rich experience spearheading business operations, product development, driving growth, building partnerships, and researching into new emerging markets by driving sales and increasing revenue for organizations of all sizes. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Olabode. Mr. Olabode. Please, can someone help confirm if Mr. Olabode is around? All right, so looks like it's just the three of us. Hi. Okay. So I think we should start with the very obvious question before we get into, very serious thing. How are you doing today?
Good.
Please, not just good, fine. No, it's too generic.
I am diligently awesome.
Wow! All right.
Yeah, just fantastic. I like the energy.
Oh, they said the energy is good. All right, so let's get straight into the question. All right, so I'm particularly very, at the same time, leave out conversations around how startups become sustainable and keep existing, because look at our economy, right? So my first question is like an opener. What is the most pressing challenges and most promising opportunities entrepreneurs or startups in Lagos are currently facing? Because I think Lagos is different from everywhere. Who's going first? There's no ladies first, so yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So, if you're talking about challenges as a startup, the first thing we always look at is the financial aspect. There is always this issue that when a startup comes, they tell you they don't have money. There's no money to establish a business, this and that. But if, as an experienced entrepreneur and I'm practicing entrepreneur, I am presently the president of Nigerian Entrepreneurship Youth Initiative. And what we do tell entrepreneurs or startups is that, firstly, a lot of entrepreneurs do not need money first. I know some people will argue with me on this. That's true. A lot of people, even after giving you this money, they don't, as an entrepreneur, you don't know anything that is called business plan. You don't know what is called feasibility study. You don't know what is called, you don't have your aims and objective. Everything you are just all about is just the money. And by the time you have been given this money, you will not know how to manage it. So let me just, I still on some other questions, but I just need to quickly touch that. Basically, we complain about startup capital, firstly. Then, what was the next question? You asked another question.
The most pressing challenges and the most promising opportunities.
Yeah, the most promising opportunities, presently, I am not defending the present government because I am not in any political party. But I need to tell you this, that I think the appointees, or what will I say, the people that they are appointing presently, they are looking into what startup really needs. What we really need as startup or as entrepreneurs is information. Information is power. Presently, if we have what we call SMIDAN. SMIDAN, before SMIDAN don't give out money. They don't even partners with. But now, the new DG, this is a trending information. They just approved like 200 billion or something like that for startup. The link is outside. It just came out maybe 3 days ago, where they partner with Sterling Bank and giving opportunities to start up. All these things is just for you to go online. And when I went through it, I was like, the registration is very, very simple. No collateral, no, you understand? In as much they have your NIN, your BVN, they can get you. So what we need is information. In that aspect, we should be able to utilize our smartphones. As a startup, you should be able to check the internet every day. What are the trending informations or what are the trending opportunities in that range of business that you want to start up? So, like I said now, in the aspect of helping young entrepreneurs or startups, SMIDAN, in fact, in the aspect of that, apart from that, do we all know that SMIDAN certificate is available for startups? And a lot of people don't know that. And it is free of charge. If you don't even have money for CAC presently, you can always go for SMIDAN, which will even give you more opportunity. And it has the federal government's, approval. So we need information. And I think that is more reason we have come together as startup. And I think I've given a piece of information here now. Thank you. That's my point.
Is someone clapping for you, please? All right, so the second question.
Okay, so I like to mention the part about finance, and you also mentioned the part about SMIDAN. So I'll come back to the finance part later. The critical area for me where I feel a lot of businesses or startups have challenges, I already mentioned finance, which ask everyone here today, that's like what's challenging from structure. Number one is structure. And when I say structure, I don't want to call it corporate governance. I would say governance structure. So when we say structure, a lot of people want to run businesses and don't want to be accountable to anyone. So they just want to make profit from the business and spend the money the way they like. So even when you tell them that, oh, I want to invest in your business, can I see your books and all the business? You find out that even though they've been running the business, but the business is just existing, but there's really nothing that is happening in the business. So the critical area that a number of businesses are challenging in terms of structure. And structure doesn't have to be something like having a board of directors or having something that is bloated. We actually like having like two or three advisory board members, people that are mentors, to have like a second eye looking at your groups and connecting with people and structuring the business in a way that you can take time off the business and the business can confidently run into without your interference. Then the second area I would look at is in terms of talent. So talent retention and talent acquisition. Nigeria as a country is, when working in business, talent is very critical because you cannot do the business on your own. However, there are two things: getting the right talents, keeping them, and at the same time ensuring that there is a form of transition within the business that they are able to, those talents that you employ, they are able to manage the business on your behalf, and while you face the critical things that a founder of the business is supposed to do. So I would say talent is what we call the major area. And also the fact that you mentioned about finance is a major thing that we need to start a business. So if you ask what are the major things that you need to start a business, first thing first, you need to find the customers. Because you cannot set up a business without knowing the customers that you intend to serve. So you don't set up a business with the hope that customers are going to come and patronize you. And in some cases, I currently manage a grant program called Kickstart Entrepreneurship Program. And we have partnership with Schneider, and the program is actually funded by the International Bureau Foundation. Now, we've seen cases, yes, and a little story, in a particular area, there was a particular lady that eventually got a grant. We rolled out applications, had thousands of people applying, at the end of the day, 50 people who funds are provided to. Now, there was when it came to the point of disbursing the funds, at the point where we asked people to submit their account details, one of the beneficiaries now mentioned in the WhatsApp group that when she gets the money, she intends to put it into one of these network marketing businesses, so that she can double the money and utilize the money for something else. So our objective of applying for the grant wasn't even to pour back the money into this business. Then we had cases whereby people collect the money and they add the money to what they are intent to use to relocate to another country. So at the end of the day, you're just giving money to people who are not really interested in starting business. So we've had to put in structures in place, do a due diligence. So it's not just about telling them that we'll be giving the funds, but putting specific criteria in place to enable, to be sure that the people that we're giving the money to at the end of the day utilize the money for that business. Because when they set up a business, they are able to employ people. When they are able to employ people, it impacts on the families of those people, and at the end of the day, we just have a multiplier effect. Then I would say the last part I wanted to mention is in terms of having mentors. So a lot of people, so it also flows back to structure. So beyond just setting up your business, you need to find people who are well established in your area and find a way to connect with them. So a mentor-mentee relationship doesn't have to be a formal relationship like saying, I want you to be my mentor and I'm going to agree to do it. If it's something as informal as connecting with someone, telling them that, providing value to them, and the person asks that, what do you do? And the person might have one or two ideas on how to scale your business forward. You might even have experience in that line of business or areas of the business that you are having challenges. So that's basically. Thank you.
Please, let's clap for him. So I agree with the point, and I think I should add that a lot of founders have long throats. And you see another founder, probably fintech startup, and they're raising, big millions of dollars. And you in one corner of Lagos, you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. But the truth is that you now bring your whole idea outside of the people that you're servicing. So the entire reason why a startup is you're solving problems. So if you're not solving problems, we just, literally just fizzle out at the end of the day. And one other thing is founders don't know how to do the 0 to 1 growth thing. So you're starting the startup today, and tomorrow you want to, your monthly recurring revenue, you want it to be millions. I mean, Twitter is very, very crazy in code. You see founders who say, I just opened a software, something. And you've been building for how many years? You're like, I can't even boast of 1 million naira in my account. So you want to do whatever it is that they're doing, forgetting the fact that they have a different market. Some of these businesses are truly not sustainable, right, on longer run, and they're not specific to the African startup space or the African consumer space. So, thank you. That would move me to our next question, right? So now we've had conversations like this where everybody's literally saying stuff. The ecosystem is filled with lots of information, and as a matter of fact, I feel like we might even have information overload, right, at some point. So, but let me ask, how can the government, private sector collaborate effectively to not set Lagos? I know that Lagos State is really trying compared to other places. You are lucky. Come to Ekiti State. I hope my guys are not listening. You don't have so much in terms of support coming from the government, and I think it's really cool for Lagos. But now, how can a random Folashade in Ojota collaborate effectively with the government to reach out to a larger audience and all that?
All right, I'm going to answer this question. I'm not from Lagos State, though, but I want to quickly tell you a story. I served under the former Commissioner for Finance, Ogun State, and I was in charge of entrepreneurship. We run SMEs. He has a private firm, so I was one in charge of entrepreneurship there. And we wrote a letter. They have some issues, maybe at the aspect of SMEs, you understand, giving out loans, not returning it, this and that. So they are looking for the perfect solution to it. So we drafted our proposal to the government, this and that. So after doing all those things, I went to meet him in his office. Said, sir, I'm done with everything. I said, yeah, I've seen it. I've sent it to him via mail. So he said, you read everything. I said, okay, sir. Sir, you are the. He said, I should go. He said, I should go. I said, go to where, sir? He said, I should go to the office. I should go to Ministry of Commerce. And I said, sir, I don't know anybody here. I am driving at 2 points. He said, I don't know anybody here. He was so mad at me. He said, must you know somebody before you approach the door? I was like, he said, you should have the boldness. You are the one that drafted this proposal. You have the key in your hand already. Approach the door. I was like, government now, if you don't like the sense that we have as youths, if you don't know somebody, especially in Nigeria, that if you don't know somebody, you cannot have your way. Like the way students will say that, and no more way, no more way. So I have to use that in my language. You understand? So, and I took up that proposal. I drove down to the ministry, and I told them, this so we have this from this company, not knowing that they know the name of his company. But he did not ask us to mention his name there. He gave me that boldness that we can actually collaborate with the government in as much we have solution. How many of us have listened on radio, on television, that they will tell us that if you have 1 or 2 solutions that you can use to assist the government, bring it forth. But a lot of youth or a lot of startups or a lot of entrepreneurs, we don't have this boldness to approach the door. So we might have the idea, might have the business idea, but how many of us can do elevator pitch? I hope you understand what I mean by elevator pitch. How many of you can sell your idea in just 1 minute to an investor? So we need to have this boldness first. And I took up the proposal. I approached them, and they were like, okay, I should drop it. But he said, from where? I said, I came from so fair. He said, wow. I could not understand why they said wow. Immediately, the secretary said, okay, wait, I need to contact the commissioner on this. Just wait. I have to. And they told the commissioner, they said, please allow them in. Oga did not call anybody. But the boldness he has given unto me, I was asking that he should give me a contact. He said, no, you can approach it. You are the one that wrote this proposal. And fortunately, when the man saw everything, the way we presented it, and he was like, we are going back. I was just serving. And give out loan is the way to get it back from startup, this and that. So, in my own aspect, a lot of people have, there are a lot of ideas and there are a lot of funds available there. But we don't have the boldness to approach the door. Okay, just last 2 weeks, we were with Baba Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, at OOPL. And we were privileged to meet the owner of Providence Bank. And the owner himself was telling us that, you see, there are a lot of youths that has these ideas that he said there are a lot of money or there are a lot of ideas. This man is probably, I'm not advertising for them, but I have to tell you with my experience, this is just, you can go online to check it. We had a program just last 2 weeks or thereabouts with Baba Obasanjo. And it was like there are a lot of funds there for start-off that they wish to, especially in the tech industry, to support. But a lot of them, they don't know how to defend their proposal or boldness to approach the door. You understand? So what I want to bring out at this point is that a lot of us have business ideas. We have this, but let us also have this boldness to pitch our ideas, make research, and also collaboration is very, very key. You understand? We need to collaborate. If you see that maybe you are going to have this idea, try as much as possible to find other people that are also in that need of what you are doing. You might not be able to, what maybe 5 hands can open, the door that 5 hands can open, and you get one hand might not be able to open it. But when they see that you collaborate, you come together, you'll be able to achieve it. That's my own conclusion for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. President. I hope it's okay to call it that. So my question to Mr. Tosin is very, very critical, right? Because we're in the era of building in public. For those who do not know what building in public is a point, it's more like founder-led marketing, but people sharing their process online. I know some people, it's just WhatsApp that they used to post once the dream, daughter of Zion has woken up. That's the only thing you post on social media, but it has gone way beyond that. And people who are bringing solutions on board or solving problems are using that as a way to connect with the people that they are looking to service and the general public at large, right? So someone I don't know why I like making reference to Ekiti State. Someone in Ekiti State might be building a fantastic fintech product and everybody in Africa know about it, right? That's because we all have the world in our hands. So my question is really direct. So how crucial is effective communication and compelling storytelling is to the success of startups?
That's a very good question. And it's good because of the part you mentioned on storytelling. So I'll take a step back with this way. There are 2 different businesses. So 2 different businesses can be serving the same market. They can be serving the same customers. In fact, they can have the same similar solutions that they are providing to customers. However, what would make one customer, what would make the customer or the user patronize or make use of the products and not go for the other one, even though they are providing the same solution? The difference is in the stories. Humans like to be treated specially. They like to know that they feel special. So, as businesses, we need to be able to communicate our stories on what we are trying to accomplish for the customer, the solution that we are trying to provide, and at the end of the day, what that solution does for the customer. So it's not just about the solution at the end of the day, it is how the customer feels when he utilize that solution. So stories are actually very important for businesses, and stories in the sense that everybody can go on social media and say, oh, our social media post Motivation Monday, on Tuesday we do Flashback Tuesday, on Wednesday we spotlight someone and all of that. So everybody can do that, but what is that story that you are telling your user, and what's that thing that you are telling your customers that would make them patronize you and not go to your competitor and utilize their product? So storytelling is actually very, very important. And beyond, you don't have to wait till when you have like a large user base or when you have very high revenue before you start telling stories. Stories start from the day you launch. From day one is when you start telling the story of how you are building your business, how you are able to, what your solution is going to do for the market, how you are able to prioritize your customers. So those stories are very important. And beyond telling stories about the organizations, founders or CEOs or business owners also need to be able to build their personal brand. And you can only build your personal brand through stories. So you need to be able to, your personal brand as a person impacts both positively and negatively on the organization. And when I mean by negatively, what I mean by negative is that, so if there's something that the founder has like a bad PR or there's something in the news that the founder has done something that's bad, automatically people associate that founder with that business and say, oh, this is the person that is leading the business and this is what he's doing. So I would not want to patronize that business with that is, the founder is associated with. A case in point, there was a particular fintech recently, earlier in the year, I think around H2. So in the past, the founder had been found wanting in an area. He took advantage of people who were the talents that were working on that, and at the same time, it wasn't his attitude to responding to customers when they bring up issues to him. Folded up and founded another one. The second one was fintech one. So when the fintech started having issues, people now started making reference that, oh, is it not that founder that, and I don't want to be associated with that business. I don't want to mention it, but anyway,
we know.
I don't want to be associated with that business. Is that not how he stole the money from that other business? So he wants to come and steal this one again. That people are the people that are even investing in the business, don't they do business? So these are how stories go, and so these are how stories people form opinions about your business. So from day one, you need to be able to take because you don't.
Now we can, one of the trends that we have outside there is that if you notice, before our parents always antagonize you starting up a business. They were like, to school, I want you to go to university, I want you to go to Polytechnic, go and read, go and study. I'm not asking you to sell this or sell that. That was then. Now we can see that a lot of youth, a lot of students, a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs now are now looking towards starting up a business, even without even having a physical store or a physical shop. You can say a lot of people will post on WhatsApp now today that they are into this, they are into that. They are marketing themselves using the aspect of digital marketing. You understand? So starting up a business is one of the trends. Like the government are now starting to look into it that wow, it seems entrepreneurship is the future. Like I always say, if you go on any of my social media posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, no matter how I put the caption, you always see I am entrepreneurship. Take it or leave it. It might not be now, but sooner or later, in this Nigeria, we will have Ministry for Entrepreneurship. And let me say it here today, by God's grace, I will be the first Minister for Entrepreneurship in the Republic of Nigeria. That is his vision. Our government has started looking into it. If you go search it now we have Entrepreneurship Village at Ondo State. Presently, we went to Ondo State 3 or 4 years ago. We went to tell Akeredolu, the governor, then that, sir, entrepreneurs, starting up a business for young entrepreneurs is the way out. And this man listening to us, and he gave us chance there. You can Google search it. Just yesterday, what is it called? Yesterday, the Minister for Information thereabout has just approved it and endorsed it also. We have an entrepreneurship village today now, which will be the first African Silicon Valley in Nigeria. It's at Ondo State. You can Google search it, entrepreneurship village, you will see it there. So our government are now starting to look at these opportunities. You understand? Now, apart from that, another trend is the aspect of technology. The aspect of technology, a lot of companies, a lot of entrepreneurs are now using the internet to reach a lot of audiences. A lot of people Now, let me also tell you part of my skill. I'm also a digital marketing consultant. So, in the aspect of social media marketing, a lot of startups are now using the aspect of Facebook, maybe sponsored ads, leveraging on a lot of audience to advertise their products. So it is now different. Before, you will need to tell somebody, fine, they still say word of mouth is still one of the best strategy of marketing your products. But now, in this digital aspect, using the internet is part of the trend that is helping businesses now. You understand? So apart from that, again, the aspect of collaboration, partnership, meeting people, and I'm impressed seeing it in this program. I've seen it at networking. Please, before we leave here today, you might not know, maybe the person sitting down behind you might be the person that will bring the next 10 million or $10,000 million of contract for you tomorrow. Ensure to network.
Okay, so addressing the funding gap, I would say that the funds are available. It's waiting for there are funds that are available waiting for people to just access them. So first thing first is what was it called? Getting young people or people who are interested in business to access this information and provide the relevant documentation to be able to access it. And when I say funding, funding doesn't necessarily have to be like investments, or venture capital funds. So you have what's it called, grants that you can apply for. You can walk up to, there are banks that have entrepreneurship banks that you can walk up to and ask them for funding. Then you also have the venture capital area that you can access funds from. So what I feel that as entrepreneurs, as someone who has managed an entrepreneurship program for a while, what I feel that people lack in this area is you have ideas, right? But a lot of these people, beyond just having an idea, see how to, either execute or implement a little version of that idea so that you have like a proof of concept. So people are not just, you're not just telling people I have an idea that they can come and invest in. You are showing them that you've identified the market. This is what you are currently doing. And it doesn't have to start as something big. I believe there are students that are in the room here. Even from our classmates, actually the best place to start a business is from the school. Because you have access to your classmates who can be your first customers or your first users. And they really want to purchase your product. And they don't have to shy away from giving you honest feedback that, well, this is your product, so you know Google. So you can use that or 3, 4 years, 5 years in school, and you get out there, you already have like a refined version of your product or the business that you're doing. Then when you're sitting for external funding, even if you don't, you have like a concept that you can pitch that, oh, you've done this and this and this, and this is what you've been able to do. Now you need this investment. Now, even that business that you did in school doesn't have to actually have been successful. Because what a lot of people who invest in businesses look out for is not just what you're currently doing, but what have you also done in the past. So, in your business spending, there will be a lot of reasons like that, government policy, a lot of all these things. So, but the people invest in the founders and not just the business doing that.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Diligent, before the host throws us out, 1 minute. How can we effectively address the funding gap for startups in Nigeria?
Yeah, addressing the startup gap.
1 minute, sir.
In the aspect of, he has said it. But I would like to inform us that the grants are there. There is money in this country. There is money in this country. The grants are there. Ensure to, once you have your business idea, you are sure of this business, you have collaborated, you have partnered, ensure to do what? Take your business directly to banks, directly to, you can even apply for this median opportunity that is going presently. At least, that means the 5 billion or thereabout that they have released. You can have an opportunity there to be granted. You understand? So ensure to have that. I will still go back to what I always say. I don't want to be talking about business idea. A lot of people have business idea, but the boldness to approach, they don't have that boldness. But I want to give you that boldness today. That it is because of you they are sitting down in that office. You will see that they don't have work to do. The civil servant might just be talking in the office. It is because of you they are sitting down in the office.
You get your check and you're good. Thank you very much, our guests, for doing this with us. I hope you had a nice time. Oh, I was going to say,
Sorry, let's.
Alright, so at this point I will say, let me draw a picture. Yes, they said you are future ministers of Nigeria, Minister of Entrepreneurship. Because of you, they will create that office. Alright, please, you can applaud them better. I know some people's mind is like, when are we going on break now? Don't worry. After the session, we'll have that part where we get to network and then you'll meet your potential investor and probably the future president of Nigeria. All right, so I have very good news for you. And before I say the good news, you're going to help me do something. So let's do this again. LBPS 2023. The energy is going down. I will not share the news. LBPS 2023. Pioneering change. Awesome. A round of applause for yourselves. So I've just been duly informed that somebody will be going home with a whooping sum. Yes, it's not easy. I would call it whooping. A whooping sum of 10,000 naira, just one person out of everybody here. So let me tell you how you're going to get the money. Okay, so I told you before that our social media handle is at Face of Liberty HQ, both on Instagram and Twitter, now X. So please, you go on Twitter, listen attentively. Cut is reading 1,000 naira. You could just go home with 10,000 naira. So you first take a picture of yourself while you're seated right here in the hall, and then you tag the picture attending LBPS 2023. Do you understand? So the person with the highest engagement on their post, hey.
How many followers you get?
So we'll look at the insight and then we'll see the person's post that is doing really, really well. It's like people are rich people here, you don't want 10K, I just think, okay now. So, yes, tag at Face of Liberty HQ and then we'll go on from there. Remember our hashtags on social media at hashtag LBP Summit 2023, hashtag Face of Liberty HQ, hashtag Pioneering Change, hashtag Opportunity Knocks. Let's see who our 10,000 naira winner will be after the end of this event. Yes, on to the next one. We'll be having another panel discussion, but they said that this panel discussion is the core of why we are all gathered here. And the topic is innovation in policy, transforming government for the 21st century. Like I told you, in this room here are seated, please, I'm not saying this to just saying amen, because I believe I'm going to be one of them. In this room here are seated future governors, amen. Future presidents, amen. Future ministers, amen. Future senators. Okay, thank you for believing so much in that. So that's why it's important that we learn innovation in policy and transforming government for the 21st century. And to help us moderate this panel, we'd like to invite one who is a versatile individual that is driven by a fervent passion for crafting innovative solutions in the realms of technology and media. Now, as a two-time Africa Democracy Ambassador for Atene Democracy, Its commitment to advancing democratic values and empowering communities remains resolute. I would like you to know that he has collaborated on projects with the World Bank, enriching his insights into global development efforts. As a key participant in shaping policies, he was among the selected 35 African youths that were ATUCA Youth Policy. You could go Google that. The ATUCA Youth Policy. Now, the person I'm talking about, who will be our graceful moderator, is I should have asked you the correct pronunciation of this your name before I came up on stage. Let me try my best. Please, sir, you help me when you come on stage. Did you make welcome Mr. Emmanuel Eshege? Did I get that right? Oh, he said I tried. Please, a applause for him as he makes his way to the podium. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, who am I kidding? Greatest Nigerian students! Greatest Nigerian students! Greatest Baba! Greatest Bugu! We are in the building. I'm a product of Aluta, so. Before I came on stage, she was saying, future president, amen. It's not a church thing. So, before I start, I'll let you know. 100 level, let me see your hand. 200, final year, good. Whatever is it you're doing right now, there are people watching. That's what I'll tell you. So if you're going to be a governor in the next 10 years, you can act as one now. It is interesting because while doing Aluta in school and missing exams and jumping up and down, the day I dropped my pen, an office in Abuja called me to resume work the next day. I did not apply, and that was the NLC. That's why I started, the Nigeria Labour Congress. Because they were watching. I don't know if you get me. So whatever is it you're doing now, please, if you want to be a governor, start acting like a governor now. And that is why this conversation is very important. Policies. How do they affect you? She mentioned that some persons don't have up to 1,000 naira in their account. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The truth is, some of these policies are why you're broke. I don't know if you heard me. Some of the policies are why you're broke. And how have you recognized these policies? Have you taken your time to sit down and ask yourself, why am I broke? Why is this person making money or appearing like they are making money? Because you could appear rich and not be rich. I hope you know that. Yes. You could appear rich and not be rich. Have you asked yourself, why am I broke? What are the policies keeping me in this bondage? How do I break out from this? Have you asked yourself? I don't like to do too many corporate talk, so we're going to have, our session is going to be very practical. I had a small thing written down, but let's keep that. And move to inviting my bosses in the house. You would notice that I'm like the youngest amongst all of the speakers here. That's because, like I said, I started where you are. So please, if you don't want to be 40 and asking yourself what you're doing, start now. If you want to be governor, you can be the youngest governor in Nigeria. You can. You can. You can be a governor in your final year. You're not aware? Oh, please try. So, joining me on stage, I have incredible people. I want to learn from them. But first of all is Dr. Dayo Kayode, a renowned aviation safety, a renowned safety consultant and national advocate for a united Nigeria. Is a prominent commentator on various national electronic media platforms since leaving public service in 2007. Dr. Kayode, 2007. I know there are a lot of Gen Zs here, so it's okay. Since 2007, Dr. Kayode has actively engaged in national discourses to promote cohesion, socio-economic development, and political growth. He co-founded the Ekiti 11.
Entire person. Great Akokite. That's not how to answer. Great great Akokite. You know? Great Akokite. When he said, today is now, and I was looking at that lady there when she came up, and my sister was telling her to get ready to become student union president or wherever. I was a Jambite. I was a Jambite. When some of us forced the government of the University of Ibadan to make borehole for us, to give us a good befitting living standard, to give us water, to give us internet transport service. And as a Jambite, I was called upon to face Senate, but what happened? We got victorious. So your day to start being in greatness is not tomorrow, it's now.
A round of applause, guys. A round of applause, guys. Are you excited already? You have a lot to light here. So, joining us again is a seasoned development sector professional with 14 years of experience across Africa. His expertise spans social protection, human development, community development, health promotion, youth and family economy, and organization development. With strong project management and ME skills, he has successfully led national and multi-country projects funded by global organizations. He's a volunteer faculty member and a mentor, contributing to programs like Faith Foundation and Leap Africa Social Innovators Program. Please welcome on our stage, Mr. Gabriel Okero. Mr. Gabriel, please. Oh, sorry, representing okay, so I hear he sent somebody to represent this. You help us with your full name when you come on stage. A round of applause for Mr. Inibia, please. A round of applause for Mr. Inibia. So, Nigerian students. Nigerian students. What is policy? Please, anybody with the correct answer in your hall. What do you understand by policy? Nobody? Okay, please Google it. We have smartphones, please. Well, I didn't say that, but of course. Please, who has the answer now from Google? Policy. You do? Please help us. A round of applause for him. What are the key things you could pick from that definition? Anybody? Certain what? Rules and good. Let me join my panel. You're welcome, sir. Well, we've domesticated this to the Nigerian economy as against the global stage because we want our students here to understand why and how they become who they are. Good. And so our questions, like I said, have been domesticated. Dr. Kayode, please, I want you to take the first question. How can innovation in policy making transform governance to better serve the need of the Nigerian population in the 21st century?
Say BB.
BB. Who's in the house?
Say BB. Say Baba. Greetings, Nigerian students. You see, my approach to issues this afternoon is going to be like picking pieces and making it a mosaic at the end of the day. But I can assure you, you should listen very well and you adapt those things very well. Don't be surprised. The next Nigerian president or the next governor of the state sitting down here.
Yes. Sir.
Now, I'm going to start from this. When you're talking of government policies, it has to do with statements that controls and allocates the state resources towards ensuring what? The good livelihood of the people. That's just trying to define policy